Hey, it's me, Giggle Guru, Angelique. I don't have my glasses. Okay, they're not real people. I wish they were, but they're not. Oh, but they look so fun. So, welcome. And when you arrive, let me know where you're joining in from, what part of the world. Tonight, I want to talk to you about what I wish I would have learned as a child. I did not know that grief was more than just the loss of a pet or a friend or a family member or a human, if you will. I didn't know that until I was an adult. I didn't realize that grief was so, I don't even know the word, complex, so much more than just what I had learned on TV. Grief was mourning. Grief was going to a funeral. Grief was losing that loved one, that pet, that individual that meant something to you. Grief never meant the loss of a job, a relationship, financial problems, what was happening in the world. Anything like that was not grief to me as a child. And as an adult, I learned that that's also grief. And I only learned what grieving was, as in the loss of a pet or a loved one as a child, from what I saw on TV. I saw people going to funerals and wearing all black. Some women were wearing mesh over their face. There was always tears, black umbrellas, usually some gangsta guys or something was there. And black sunglasses. That's what I knew. And then as an adult, all of a sudden, there's these celebrations of life. And it's like, what is a celebration of life? What does that mean? What is that? Like, I didn't understand. And so it took me on a whole whirlwind of down this, what is grief? What does grief mean? And I have had a lot of things happen that it was like, that's why I was feeling that way. Now I get it. That was grief. And I was going through this grieving stage. And so that's what we're talking about tonight, is about grief and about how do you know what grief is? Did you learn as a child what grief was? Did you know that grief was more than just the death of a human or a pet? I'm curious. Drop a comment below and let me know. But as a child, my brothers and I, we had some pets that all of a sudden went missing. Often the dogs, they would just go missing and they would be gone. We had some cats. And one time we had a cat that had these kittens, and there was a runt in the litter. And my brothers and my brothers had bunk beds in a separate bedroom, and I had my own bedroom because I was the only girl. And we had this runt of a kitten in a box. And we had to have an eyedropper to give it milk. And it meowed all night. And it was just, oh gosh. My parents kept saying, it's not going to live, it's not going to live. And we were like, we're going to try our best. We're going to do our best. And so we would take turns all night taking care of this cat. We would go in and we would give it milk, and we would just love it and pet it and say it's okay, and just really give it all the love that we could. Unfortunately, it did pass. And then we found a beautiful cigar box of my dad's, and we wrapped the kitten in tissue and in some nice linen, and then we went to our tree house and dug a hole. This is probably not legal. I shouldn't be saying this live on YouTube, but we dug a hole and we put the cat in this hole. This was like, I'm 50, so imagine how many years ago that was. Many, 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 many years ago. And we had a little funeral service. And the way that my brothers and I helped each other grieve through the loss of this cat, because that's all we had. We didn't really have a conversation with our parents about this, really. It was very surface level. It wasn't anything deep. So what we did was we took this and we made this hole, and we had this the uh, the cat in the box, and we had somebody come that they were the minister or the priest. I don't even know what we called them. And they said a eulogy and they brought us all together. And it was my brothers and I and our neighbors. And we all kind of came together collectively and we would bury these animals. I had a fish, didn't go down the toilet. It had its own little casket. And we had the kitten and we had my turtle. So just different things. And we would go and we would create this ceremony from what we learned on TV. That's really what it was from. It's what we learned on TV. I remember I lost a friend when I was probably about 15 or 16. And literally my mom got off the phone and she said, blah, 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 so-and-so died. And that was it. And I was just like, what? She's like, Glenn passed away. Glenn Morden passed away. And I was just like, what? Like, what happened? And so then she told me, and I was just like crying and sad. And it was like, that was it. There was no consoling or any of those things. And I'm like, and that all that grief was buried for years. And it was really, really hard. It's kind of a little bit hard to talk about, still trying to navigate it. But one thing that I found for a tool that helped me to navigate through grief and understand what grief is and to really kind of take a deep delve into my emotions is laughter yoga. Laughter yoga has been a saving grace for me in so many ways, and grief is just one of them. And so grief through the loss of animals, of pets, of relationships, of jobs, of finances, of all these different things. And laughter yoga has helped me to navigate through that. And how has it helped me? It has helped me that when I even don't feel like laughing, I have a little giggle, I laugh, maybe some guilt comes up, maybe some, sadness or anger or whatever that is, but at least it allows me, what laughter yoga does for me when I do my laughter exercises and I'm trying to navigate this grief, what it does for me is it allows me to kind of put that, oh, that's the feeling I'm feeling. Instead of not knowing what it is, I laugh, I smile, whether it's fake laugh or whether it's real laugh. I just kind of do that, laugh, I do some nice deep breathing. It helps to take that squirrel, those busy squirrels in my mind, calm them down. And then I'm able to then see what it is I need to navigate and that I need to be able to deal with. So that's what laughter yoga has done for me. And this month in March, the very end of March, not sure what day, I don't have it in my calendar, it's over there and I can't see it. We're going to be doing a laughter lab, and it's going to be all about pets, and it's grief to giggles. So how do we go from grieving to adding in some giggles and navigating those emotions and those feelings? I hope that you'll join me for that. It's going to be really powerful. And that we're a collective community coming together to be able to share in one common, for one common reason, and that is that we're grieving for our pets. And so that's a little bit about what I'm wishing that I learned about when I was a child, is about grief and just really what grief was and how to really grieve and to navigate what those feelings were and those emotions that I was feeling but had no idea what they were. It was just this roller coaster of things, and being able to express them in a more positive way and be able to identify with them. Laughter yoga has helped me with that. So before we go, let's do a laughter exercise, and let's just imagine perhaps just nothing to do with grief, just because laughter, we don't always have to be thinking about what we're grieving. We can just laugh for the joy of it, and that can help with that, stir up that process as well. So let's imagine that we're just seeing a friend and we're waving. awesome. Let's take a deep inhale together if you choose to join with me. And exhale. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow for Thankful Thursday. I'll catch you then. Have a great night, everybody. And remember to share a smile with a stranger, because you never know. It may just change their day.